Hey, what's up you guys? It's Six. Welcome back to my channel. So I have been experimenting a lot with my art lately, and I thought in the spirit of experimenting, I would challenge myself to go back and redesign an OC I have had for quite some time, probably as far back as 2013. So little 14-year-old Six, freshman in high school, desperately trying to come up with a cool and interesting character design, and not doing so great at it for several reasons that we will get into. So when I say that it's kind of uninspired, what I mean is that I had an intent behind the character, and I had like an idea for what I wanted him to look like, but I didn't really like fully go in and like have a plan of attack, I guess, because this was the first character I had ever intentionally designed, like sit down, had an intent to draw a character, not necessarily to design one, but to have a character. Basically what I did was I knew in the lore, this was in collab with my partner, we were like designing like a little fairy, what do you call that, like a community, I guess, is a vague word, but basically the idea around these fairies was that they were born from flowers, and then a lot of them like wear their birth flower around, or like have attributes of that birth flower on them in some way, and so my character was based on, and botanists don't come for me, a hybrid of, I don't know if these two can crossbreed and make a hybrid flower, a lily of the valley and a forget-me-not. I couldn't decide between the two of them when I was designing his character, because I liked them both so much that I simply did not choose and said that he was a hybrid and that he was weird for that. I don't, again, know if they can, but fun fact, I chose these completely separately. I liked Lily of the Valleys and I liked Forget-Me-Nots, and I could not decide between the two of them when I created him. And fun little fact, when I was doing the research for this design, this iteration of him, I was looking at photos and I found that they grow next to each other super often. I literally did not know that when I chose those two for his flowers. I just thought that those two individually were cute. So seeing that they grow together kind of validated me a little bit. I was like, yeah, that makes sense now, because I used to think that it didn't make any sense that he was those two flowers combined, especially because I don't know if you can combine them, but seeing that they grow side by side often was like, yes, haha, I was right. I am correct. This is a cool idea. This makes sense. Anyways, so like I said, I don't have his first iteration, but I will kind of explain what he looked like originally and why that wasn't really flying with my current standards. So his skin was completely white, because again, Lily of the Valley, right? So his skin was completely white, but for some reason his hair was reddish brown. Even though his skin, I'm not kidding, not white as in like flesh white, I'm talking like white as in the clouds, like white. And then he had pink and green freckles, for some reason. And then he had, his dress that was just a Lily of the Valley bulb. Okay, alright. And then a hat that also was just a Lily of the Valley bulb. Six, where's the forget-me-nots? I don't know. I don't know. I literally, I don't know where they are in his initial design. I don't know where they came from. I don't know why they weren't visible or present in any way. I don't know where the pink came from. I genuinely don't know. And then a few years later, I actually, on my Instagram, I did a 1-week sketchbook challenge where I decided to try and redesign him, and I will pop that up on screen somewhere. And you can see there that I did try to design him with a little bit more intention. Those blue flowers are supposed to be forget-me-nots. He obviously has a lot more blue in his design, but now we're missing the white. Now we're missing the lilies. I think that like swirl on top of his head is supposed to be a lily? I don't know. I don't know what that is. I think it's supposed to be like his hat that is the lily bulb. I don't know. So I can see where I was trying to go. I could see where I was trying to be. And I just was like, this is not, it's not clicking, it's not working, it's not giving, and I thought it would be fun to sit down with you and actually, like, really put some thought into creating this character, like really intentionally designing him, giving him the glow up that he deserves, and then experimenting a little bit with rendering and stuff at the end, so we'll get to that. Anyways, so now that we've kind of got the backstory out of the way, I want to talk a little bit about what I did to kind of go about the process of creating this character. So the first thing that I did was I put together a mood board that I've hopefully put on screen at some point for you guys to see. If not, I'll put it right here. And I really love this mood board. So the deer in the middle makes no sense. His boyfriend is a deer. He's like a deer person. So that's why there's a deer in the middle, because that's his love. But then the rest of the things around it were things that either just simply inspired me based on how they looked, like the fountain and the little rose bush that's in the top and in the corner, just like general like vibe based stuff. But then there were also like little elements like individually for his actual design. Like there's a green pair of shoes that I put on there to remind myself that I wanted him to kind of have like a lace up version of those little leaf shoes that I see a lot. I usually see them as little booties, but I was like, I want them to like kind of like go up his legs, like a ballet flats or something. I don't know I don't know what the fashion term for that sort of lacing is, but I remembered that I wanted them to go up like that. I had an outfit that was like little shorts and a blouse, and I was like, that would be really cute. I want to do that. But then I saw this green dress that had an overcoat kind of type situation that had little white baubles hanging off of it, and I was like, wouldn't it be so cute if instead of those little white puffballs they were lilies, and instead of green I made it blue. I'm kind of iffy on that decision, because it probably would have been really cute actually if I kept it green, but it's blue and white because I wanted to incorporate a lot of blue and white in his design and kind of have it be balanced that way. Since both iterations of his design were kind of one or the other, I wanted to have a more even balance to show that he is both. He is supposed to be a hybrid. So I wanted to combine both of those colorful elements in there. And then again, some were just inspirations for color. I have a color palette on there. I didn't use it directly, but it was like the vibe for what I wanted. There was like some blue flowers in like a jar that I thought were really cute. So I just kind of tried to put together a mood board that was like, okay, this is the vibe. This is what I'm trying to capture. And then once the mood board was complete, I used the inspiration from that mood board to go over and create some preliminary sketches, which is not something that I normally do when it comes to me making character designs. Normally, I am just sketching directly onto the page that is going to be the final and kind of changing things as they go. I don't have like multiple iterations of the character all over the place that I'm kind of like planning out. I'm just like doing it, and then if I don't like it, I delete something or I add something. I don't have like, okay, here's this iteration, copy paste, now here's the changes I made, copy paste, you know, kind of like what I was doing for Ari here, because that, fun fact, is his name is Ari, and it's not like Ariana Grande. I know I created him in 2013, it's not for Ariana Grande, it's short for Artistole. So he's not named Ari as in Miss Grande. Anyways, so I for his planning stage, I created like an initial sketch of like all of the base ideas that I had for his outfit, and then I kept like shifting, making little notes to myself, being like, oh, this needs more of this color, this needs more of this element, this needs you know, maybe less of this. Like I don't know what skin tone to go for him, because he had, you know, he's gone through so many fantasy colors. What if I want to give him like a more natural palette so that the other brighter colors of him end up sticking out, and blah blah blah. And also it would make him weird again, because he's supposed to be kind of like an outcast. He was born super late. He is technically a hybrid, and is just generally supposed to be like an outcast type character. All of the other characters have physical attributes of their flower incorporated in them, so they have like different skin tones, or like, again, like hair, you know, things like that. Just physical attributes that remind them of their flower. So if he has like a more like natural, less fantasy palette, that would also help to kind of distinctually separate him from his peers. But I still wanted to give him some like spicy little like fantasy elements. So he still got his little elfy ears, and there was a thing about his freckles. As much as it was weird that they were pink and green initially, I was like, I like the idea of him having like colorful freckles. I tried to do something like that with the second iteration of them, where I turned them into literal flowers, but I was like, that's too complicated for me to, first of all, draw multiple times. Like if I was going to like continue to draw him and use him for like a webcomic or something, for example, it would be obnoxious to draw little blossoms all over his face every single time I drew him. Like, I'd end up making a stamp and it would look so lazy and bad. So I was like, what if I just go back to the colorful freckles and I make them blue and green instead? So that's what I did. Or did I make them blue and white? I think I made them blue and white. Really, really cute though. It kind of still kind of gives the impression of like maybe he's got little buds all over his face, or they could be interpreted as freckles, and either way it wouldn't be a big deal. It would be really cute either way. So I'm really happy with how those turned out. And then I finally gave him fucking I'm not on Patreon, but I think I'm far enough into the video. If you guys heard that, no you didn't. I just filmed my Patreon podcast, and obviously there's not as many censors on there, so I say bad words on my Patreon podcast, but I don't say bad words here. So if you heard me say it, no you didn't. Fricking, I don't even remember what I was saying. Oh, wings. I gave him wings because he has not, any single time I've drawn him, I don't think he has ever had wings, and if he did, they were lazy little cylinder outlines that looked like really, really bad. So I was like, for some reason, so when I think of fairies, I think of like dragonfly and such type wings. I think they're very pretty, very delicate. I'm bad at drawing them. I don't know why. Every single time I've tried to draw them, I have struggled. I think I've managed it once or twice, but it took me so long that I was like, if I'm going to consistently draw this character, because that's what, the goal is when it comes to like redesigning a character, is like, so that I enjoy drawing them, right? I'm not going to give them a design element that I'm going to be frustrated with and not enjoy or end up using, especially something as crucial as like a fairy needs wings, right? Even little weirdo fairies, right? They need their wings, right? To get around and such. So I was like, I'm gonna give him butterfly wings because I have a significantly easier time drawing them, and also I just really like to render them. Butterfly wings, moth wings, stuff like that. Super, super cute. Which you'd think I would have more trouble with those because of the symmetry aspect. I don't care. I really like to draw them. I don't know what it is, especially with gouache. I love painting them in gouache. I love painting bugs with gouache. So fun. Maybe I'll do it on the channel at some point. I haven't yet, but perhaps in the future. And so really fun, like, side thing that I do for me is like a personal work thing usually, and then sometimes people buy them, and that's awesome. Anyways, I really like rendering them in gouache, so I figured I would like rendering them digitally as well, especially with this new technique that I have started using. I picked up a new brush. I'm not going to talk too much about it. I talked a little bit on the Patreon podcast if you want to go look at it over there. But I'm not going to talk too much about it because I haven't decided if it's like going to be in my roster. You know what I mean? I don't know if this is going to be like a major part of my technique moving forward, but at the very least for this particular iteration of it, I did some paint over aspects with it. So I did kind of like a light, almost like cell shaded with a little bit of blending for the rendering, and then I went over top with this brush and kind of added in some more like detailed elements. So I went over his wings and like rendered them that way. I went over parts of his clothes and his shoes and his hair and stuff like that. I was just adding in little tiny textural elements with this brush, and it looked so creamy and yummy and cute, and I really, really like it. And I really, really like this drawing. There's some aspects of it that I'm not too like about. Like I think like the perspective is a little bit wonky in some places, particularly his feet. I have a hard time drawing feet, guys. guys. I know a lot of you do too. It is very difficult, especially when I could not find a freaking reference. I could not find a reference for this like specific shoe that I really, really wanted. So that made it hard as well. And then I don't know how to draw feet without shoes. So I just was SOL on that, trying to figure out how to make it look, but I think it's manageable. Overall, I think it's a really cute drawing at the very least, even if it is different than what I was expecting when we came into this project. At the very, very least, I am glad that this design reads more intentionally as a hybrid type fairy character. You can tell he's a fairy. You can tell what flower he's made from now. It's not just like one or the other or somehow neither. And I think overall his design elements are just a lot more fun. I thought about for a while giving him little lily pants, but I wanted more blue in his design, so I ended up going with like close little like flower bud pants, and then his top's supposed to be both, as you guys saw, with the little lily dangly bits too, because I thought that was freaking cute. I love his hat now. It used to be just a lily for some reason, but I combined them both, so it kind of looks like it started growing as like a forget-me-not, and then it like kind of got swamped by the lily, and then like finished off on that stem. I thought it was so freaking cute. I thought it was adorable. I love it. I just want to pinch him. He's adorable. So yeah, I'm ultimately pretty happy with how his design turned out. I think this is what I was trying to achieve with his first design, as silly as it sounds, because they're nothing alike. But I think if I had had a minute, if I had had the foresight to sit down and be like, what if you looked up pictures of the flowers and maybe got inspired, instead of just being like, I know what a forget-me-not, I know what a lily looks like, I know what a lily of the valley looks like. I play Animal Crossing. Here you go. White and pink car cat, because he has teeth too. If you didn't notice, he has sharp teeth. I only gave him little fangs here because his mouth was so tiny. He's keeping his sharp teeth because the reason I gave him those was because Lily of the Valley is incredibly poisonous. It is so deeply poisonous. So I was like, I want to incorporate that into his vibe in some way, so he's an asshole. But also he has really sharp teeth, which just makes him look like Carcat. So I need to work on that a little bit. I think if I were to give him all of his teeth, that would still read. Anyway, that's it for this video, you guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a comment and let me know what part of this video you liked. Did you like the voiceover? Did you like me accidentally dropping an F-bomb? Did you like perhaps me rambling about my thoughts on character design? Or maybe you just like the drawing. I don't know. Let me know something. Let me know. I don't know what I'm doing over here. If you want to go check out the Patreon so you can see me do stuff intentionally or get sneak peeks behind my other character designs and stuff that I do for my monthly rewards. The reward? Okay. I don't know if the rewards will be done, so if they are done, I will pop them on screen. If they are not done, I will pop what the current progress on them is. I'm so excited about this month's rewards. They're little alien clowns, particularly the sticker. The sticker. He's so freaking cute. I love this sticker so much. He is my son. He is a baby boy. He is gorgeous. I cannot wait to print him out and have a little tiny version of him in my home. He's adorable. So if you want his little adorableness in your mailbox, go join Matcha or Chamomile on Patreon. And that is it for this video, you guys. Thank you to my patrons who help me support my work and ramble on the line and make silly little characters and be able to ship them out to them or to listen to me talk about them. I love you guys so much, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.